We're the travel agents coming to you with tips, tricks, interviews, and voyages by cruise. The travel agents bringing you the latest travel news.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Will.
We're your hosts for the Travel Agents Podcast. Today, we're joined by a new friend.
Yeah.
Named Azdian. We should say it not together. Can you say it for us?
You just did, Azdian.
Oh, we were both wrong.
Yeah, we butchered
No,
it.
you were right.
Well, sort of. So, Azdian, you are a podcaster, and you started just February of 2022.
Yes.
And what is your podcast called?
My podcast is called Destination Morocco Podcast.
So you sound like a Moroccan.
Thank you.
So, salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
All right, shukran.
La shukra la wajib.
That's all. No more. Wait, no. I have one more. Ana ismi Brian, ma ismuk.
Ismi Azdian.
Cool.
Impressive. Wow.
All right, let's end it. Thank you so much. That means a lot. And Morocco.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your podcast and what you do and a little bit about yourself.
And where are you? And you were telling us about a podcast conference.
Yeah.
Okay. Me and my wife started the company back in 2016, and it's called Destination Morocco. Okay. And basically, what inspired us is our son, Imran. And the reason is because we are immigrants. Both of us, we're neighbors back home. And we travel back and forth from the US to Morocco, the US to Morocco. And as we get old, you start to kind of lose touch and, distance and so forth. Mm-hmm. But for him, we did not want him to feel that way. I mean,
sure,
he is an American, but we want him to know his roots.
Yeah, definitely.
So we took him to Morocco. He inspired us actually to start the company. So we took him to Morocco the first time, and he was 2.5 years old. So the second time when we went, he was 4.5 years old. And to my surprise, he remembered few things from his first visit. So the second visit, we did a tour in Morocco, and he just loved it. Wow. So, and it was incredible. I mean, to this day, he still tells me about the desert, about Marzouga, about the camel ride. It's incredible. So for me, I really believe I've done my job and I've done my part. So I know he's going to have the love for Morocco for as long as he lives. And
nice.
That's really my goal.
So where in Morocco are you originally from, or your family, where are they from?
I am originally from Marrakech, born and raised in Marrakech. I lived there since 72 to 95. Then I moved to the US.
Okay.
My ancestors, my family hails from a small village. Yeah. It's called Telwet, which is in the outskirts of a city called Ouarzazate. And Ouarzazate is known for it's like they call it the Hollywood of Africa. So that's where the Atlas Studios.
Azdian, I have something to tell you. I have been to Ouarzazate.
Oh my God.
Is that crazy?
Oh my goodness. That is insane.
It was awesome.
Oh, wow.
I wish I could remember the name of the hotel.
Oh, they have some nice hotels. It's a little bit old, nice.
Oh, they're amazing. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Wait, is this I think this is the city where they filmed Gladiator, isn't it?
Yes, they have a Gladiator museum. They have a Game of Thrones museum. And they're filming The Witcher.
Okay.
In Morocco.
Wow.
Right now. They're filming The Witcher, yes. And also they do, I mean, if you visit Ouarzazate or Ben Haddou, you'll see the camera crew there all the time filming something. So every few weeks they're filming something. So they have made a lot of movies.
Wow.
In that area, yeah. So
and that's like located sort of by the mountains, but also by the desert, right?
Yes, it's actually by the mountains. You're right. And my village is, I would say, about maybe 50 kilometers before you get to Ouarzazate.
Okay.
And then they call it basically the gate to the desert. So once you pass our village, it's about an hour away from Ait Ben Haddou. Then you keep going south, and the desert is about 4 hours away. So
okay. It looks gorgeous. The pictures I'm seeing right now look absolutely gorgeous.
Azdian, what is your company?
My company, what we do is we help all the travelers that are struggling to plan any complicated or any itinerary to Morocco. So we implement technologies and systems. So we build kind of custom itineraries for them, so they get a chance to enjoy Morocco just like a native.
Oh, you're a travel agent.
Well, tour
I was
operator.
going to say, are you a tour operator? Okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, the only difference is air travel, but I sell air travel, but I don't really sell it to the public. It just, when I'm traveling with the family and with friends.
Sure.
So, but I just focus on the tour operation in Morocco. So, yeah.
I love it.
So I just want to say real quickly for Ouarzazate, because it's spelled a little weird, right?
What is it?
It is.
It's Ouarzazate. So if you want to look that up, the pictures of it are gorgeous.
Yes.
Hey, wait.
So,
do you speak French?
Yes.
Check that out.
That's so cool.
The old trilingual. It's pretty awesome,
Yeah, that's so cool.
Thank you.
Because I think that's why a lot of you're in West. I mean, just for anyone who doesn't know, Morocco is in northwestern Africa.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yes.
And I guess I want to be very clear to anyone who maybe doesn't. A lot of our listeners don't know a lot about Africa.
Yeah.
Heck, I didn't when I started as a travel agent.
Sure.
I assumed Africa as a whole was like, I was
One
thinking
country?
well, not that, but Kenya, Botswana, like
Very safari-like.
Yeah. Very lush,
Yes.
very green, very lots of zebras and giraffes and elephants,
Yes.
stuff like that, right? Like Lion King.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
And northern Africa is very different.
Mm-hmm.
Think Sahara
Yes.
Desert.
Yes.
Yeah.
In terms of tourism, Africa is amazing. It's incredible. It's a must visit.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what country, because each country is different in its beauty, landscapes, and Morocco is no different. Morocco has, I think it's number 1 or number 2 when it comes to UNESCO World Heritage Sites.
Wow.
I think it's after Egypt. It's got to be after Egypt.
Okay.
Yeah. So then you go to Tanzania and you see exactly what you just have mentioned in The Lion King. You really get transported back in time. It's just, It's incredible. It's something, the movies, TVs, the pictures, they don't do any justice to
No.
any sites in Africa, I promise you. And
I bet.
And Ouarzazate is just, the way that you spelled it, it's one way of spelling it. There's other people who spell it WA and the rest is almost the same. The way you spelled it is exactly the way that I spell it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That works.
That would have been, would it be the direct Arabic to English be with a W?
Well, no, I spell it with OUA.
Okay.
Ouarzazate.
Okay.
Yeah, that's that. The way you spelled it, that's how I do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's awesome. And it's located right next to not located right next to, but as you mentioned, it's the gateway to the Sahara Desert.
Yes. So
Wow.
in terms of the location, if let's say Marrakech is a really popular city, it's right in the middle of Morocco. It's dead middle of Morocco. So going south and go into the mountains, basically, it's about I would say 120 kilometers.
Okay.
It's not really the distance. It's not very far, but it's because of the mountains and the turns. It takes a little bit of time to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
So relatively from Marrakech, it's about 2 hours or so. Just to give people an idea, if they are planning to go to Ouarzazate and they don't know what it's like comparing to Marrakech. So if you're coming from Casablanca to Ouarzazate, it's going to be about 4.5 hours.
I am really, really curious how you plan Moroccan itineraries because
Oh my gosh.
I'm thinking you're gonna have them go to Ouarzazate, aren't you?
Well, this is how we do
And
it.
they're gonna love it, but they've never heard of it.
Yes. The funny thing, I use Travelify to build itineraries.
Nice.
And the way that I do the way that I build them, it's kind of weird in a different way. So the itinerary gets built in Morocco, then I finish it. And the way that I work on it, I see it, I enhance the content a little bit, then I add the pictures, I add videos that complement the city or the tour, then I add the hotels or the yachts. So at the end, you get an outstanding, unbelievable itinerary.
See, this is what a niche looks like, right?
Yeah.
I was
Yes.
told early on in my career, Brian, pick a niche and stick with it, get really good at it. And I got too greedy. I want the whole world. So I plan trips to Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, New Zealand,
wow.
and I love it. But I know a little bit about a ton of places, and I don't really know much about anything.
I completely understand what you're saying, because I could have done the same thing, but I can't. I really can't.
Yeah.
So I'm very fortunate to have Morocco, as a destination and focus on it and have all my energy focusing just on that one destination. So I just sent you an itinerary for some clients that they're planning to go next month. I mean, in January, and you'll see the way that I built them. You'll see everything from A to Z. It's probably something you have never seen before.
I'm super excited to see this.
I want to talk about flights over. I want to talk about your itinerary. I want to talk about the city of Fez. That was my favorite. I also want to talk about Casablanca, too touristy, not touristy. I also want to talk about the Sahara Desert. It was my first time sleeping in a luxury tent outside. That was incredible. Oh my gosh, what an experience. But let's start with the flights. So the airline of Morocco is called Royal Air Maroc.
Yes.
And I believe the only flight from Morocco to the United States direct, a nonstop flight, is through JFK. Is that correct?
That is correct. There's also one from DC, and I think it's once a week.
Okay.
Either Wednesday or Thursday. Then they have another one from Miami. They added another one recently from Miami, and I think there's one also from Boston, but that one I have to check because everything was planned before the pandemic, and some of those lines were kind of
no problem. Asdian, do all the flights go into Casablanca, or does some go into Marrakech?
They go to Casablanca because Casablanca is the biggest airport in Morocco. And also in terms of just last couple of months, Casablanca had 2 million more flights than Marrakech. So it's obviously Casablanca is the hub.
Yeah.
It's pretty big. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's really well said. Now, Casablanca is not the capital. The capital is called Rabat.
That is correct. Yes.
Which is close to a couple hours from Casablanca?
It's actually, depending on how you travel, if it's train by car, it's about 45 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay, so Casablanca is kind of where you're going to fly into, and a lot of our listeners have heard of this movie called Casablanca.
Of course.
Yep, 1941.
And there's a restaurant or a bar, a bar called what?
Rick's Bar.
Oh, okay. And it's a tourist trap, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you suggest your clients go there, or are you like, you can totally do without it?
You can totally do without, but here's the thing. People, because of the movie, it does look nothing like the movie. It has been remodeled many times, but it's still a good place to go and, just like, hey, I took a selfie, I took a picture, I've been here.
Sure.
All right.
I still would recommend it. Yeah, I would absolutely recommend it.
Fly into Casablanca and take the selfie on the way to somewhere else. Or, I mean, are you, I guess here's my question for you, because I did not do Casablanca. I did Rabat, and then we drove to the Casablanca airport to fly home. So I never got to see Casablanca.
Oh, wow.
I guess my question to you, Asdian, is Casablanca, if I have 10 nights for Morocco, which I think is a pretty good amount of time for, a traveler to go over. I mean, obviously 2 weeks would be better, or 3 weeks would be even better, but let's just be realistic. A lot of my clients have about 10 days. So 10 days in Morocco, would you add time in Casablanca?
Yes, and I'll send you some itineraries for 10 days and you can see them. The beautiful thing about doing 10 days, it gives you the ability to see the north side of Morocco and then the south side of Morocco. So most of the tours that we do, they are 8 days. Then the next popular is 10 days.
Okay.
So you do time in Casablanca. Do you do time in Rabat?
Oh, absolutely. And this is how it starts. Let's say you have a 10-day tour, start in Casablanca. Normally the flights, if you're flying from JFK, the flight will land at 8:30 in the morning, unless there's some delays, which we check.
Yeah.
If everything goes well, then we pick you up. We take you to the hotel, take a couple hours rest, take a nap or so. And then after that, we take you to the mosque. The mosque, you have to get a tour guide. So the tour guide goes inside with you. You pay him $2-3. Then he goes inside with you. The mosque is a must-see.
Is this Riyadh Al Ofa?
No, this is the Hassan II Mosque.
Okay, gotcha.
It's a marvelous mosque. It's a must-see in Casablanca. So it is mind blowing once you go inside. Then after that, you can do the Corniche, you can do, a church, you can do a synagogue, you can do other side, historical sites in Casablanca, and amongst them the Brix Cafe, and have lunch. So, and also towards the end of the day, a lot of people like to go to the Corniche, to the coastal side, and just walk and just chill. There's cafes, there's live music, there's bars, clubs that you can go to and stuff like that. So that's how I would do Casablanca. If I were traveling. So this is normally how we do it. And then because we're building a custom itinerary, we ask you things that you want to do in Casablanca. And that's what we do on your itinerary.
Sure. Okay. So after we go to Casablanca, then we're going to Rabat?
That's right. We're going to go to Rabat. It's about 45-minute drive. Then the site visit in Rabat, it's really short. The reason is because all those monuments, they're next to each other.
Okay.
So the visit should take no longer than an hour and a half to 2 hours in Rabat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very short, very convenient. And then you can head up north. You can go, to Fez, you can go to Tangier, you can go, to Asila if you want to make a stop. So you get to see the northern side of Morocco, which is beautiful. In Morocco, the landscape changes.
Sure.
Every 45 minutes. It's incredible.
Okay.
It's amazing.
So, my question for you, I would imagine that it's pretty easy to get from Spain to Morocco.
Yes.
With the Strait of Gibraltar being right there, there's a very short distance. Is there an opportunity to take a ferry from southern Spain into Tangier?
Yes, that's the best way to actually to move from Spain to Morocco or Morocco to Spain. The ferry is very popular. A lot of Moroccans during the summertime, that's how they come to Morocco, and that's how they travel back to Europe.
Okay.
So whether they're going to Spain, Belgium, France, so the ferry is very popular, and it's the distance between Tangier and Spain. It's about 11 miles, 10, 11 miles.
Wow.
So it's a very short distance. Yeah.
So when I think of Northern Africa as a whole, I'm thinking, some of the World War II campaigns. I'm thinking the Roman Empire and some of the conquests that occurred.
Gosh, yes,
I'm imagining that there's a lot of Roman ruins in Morocco to see.
Yes. There's 6 sites in Morocco that resembles one of the Moroccan ruins, a city called Volubilis. Now it's just some stuff that is left because of an earthquake that hit Portugal, and the effect of it destroyed all those sites.
Wow. What was the name of that again?
Earthquake.
Sorry. What was the name of the location?
Volubilis. It's between Meknes and Chefchaouen.
Okay. So this is northern Morocco?
Yes, and it's in northern Morocco. It's a must see. It's unbelievable. I mean, I've seen it. I visited it twice in one tour. The first time when I visited, I had my GoPro with me, but unfortunately, I was running out of battery. So I did the museum. Then I had to come back. So we went to Chefchaouen on the way back, and I had with me a tour guide.
Okay, and
it was just unbelievable. Volubilis is definitely a must see. I mean, you can still see the tracks from the wheels from the Roman time.
Wow.
You'll see everything. It's just unbelievable.
That's really cool.
It is. And Volubilis, a lot of people are surprised. It means flower in Berber. Okay. And when you go to Volubilis, there's 4 main sites in Volubilis. And one of them, it looks like there's a Caesar with the olives leaves on his head, but it's actually that was a Berber king, or a ruler. It was inspired. He inspired the Romans in that, and they draw him on that surface, and you can still see it, and you can still see the olive oil mills. You can see where they used to bathe. You can see where they used to raise fish. So it's unbelievable. And then there are some French archaeologists and European archaeologists that they spend about 6 months a year still looking for the mausoleum. And I know it's got to be in the bottom of the hill, because once you go in, I mean, it's for me, it was mind-blowing experience. I swear to you, it was beautiful.
That sounds really cool. So After seeing Tangier in the northern part of Morocco, where are you taking your guests on the tour?
I would say Fez.
Fez,
Yeah,
okay.
can you explain? Because Fez is one that, yeah, Google doesn't do it justice. But if you can go to Google Images and type in Fez, I think you'll get a little taste of maybe why it's so cool and so great for like Will. So, Asdian Will is a photographer, so he would just light up in this city.
God.
Yeah,
You're gonna love Fez. Fez for me is the source. Fez for me is where Morocco started. Fez is the original capital of Morocco. Fez is still to this day holds a lot of traditions that a lot of other cities let go of, and they just don't exist because of development and technology and stuff like that. So Fez, if you want to see and walk back in time, Fez is definitely the place to be and visit.
Yeah, and then just to add to that, what makes it kind of unique is there's so many different alleyways that cars can't go. You could never fit a car. It's so skinny, you can barely fit two bodies, right? And
I completely agree.
And you have these like buildings, beautiful colored buildings on each side of you, and this gorgeous tile that you walk on and tile all around you, and it's so photogenic. And all of a sudden you turn a corner and there's just a random shop right there, and the owner's sitting inches from you, just like, hey, what's up? You want to come on in? And it's really cool. Hey, Asdian, can you explain what a riad is?
Okay. The riad, back in the day, this is back in the 19th century. If you look at the way people live now, it's just single families. Back in the day, it used to be multi-families, several families living in one house, and we call it riad. So it hosts 3 or 4 families. It can be sometimes just one large family. So it's got level 1, level 2, level 3 probably. And then what makes it unique is because it has a garden inside, and then you have a water fountain. Those are the significant things that you have to have on a riad is the water fountain. So it just, with the noise and the sound of the water flowing and stuff, it's a very soothing sound. So, and they are very elaborate, beautiful, built traditionally. Most everything is done by hand.
Yeah, they're
from
gorgeous.
The mosaic, to the decoration of the woods, the marble. Everything is just it's so really, really marvelous.
Do you usually put clients in hotels or riads or a mixture of both?
That's a really good question. It really depends, and what makes the difference is the size of the group. If we have a big group, definitely the hotels, because the prices are cheaper, and also they have more availability. Now, if you have, let's say, two people, 4, 6, even 8, you can fit in a riad, really, really nice, but just make sure you book it ahead of time.
Yeah,
that's one of the things that we realized after the pandemic. Everything is high season. Everything is still booked. Everything is still busy. I'm really, really surprised. I thought it's gonna slow down, but it's not really slowing down. So
great.
That's what I would do. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have a peak season? Is like right now it's
well,
fall, summer, spring, winter?
It's really strange. The peak season was March, April, and May, and then the last 2 weeks of December because of Christmas, because of the New Year. But now, since Morocco opened, it's been a high season.
Just all around, year-round high season.
It's still,
how about for for temperatures though? Do you have like really comfortable temperatures?
Don't go during July and August.
Okay. No, it's good. It's good to know.
When I think of Morocco, I think of amazing spices and incredible cuisine. What are some staples of Moroccan cuisine that visitors to Morocco need to try?
Oh my goodness. This is an episode just by itself. You mentioned food, I get hungry. I love food. Oh my goodness. My wife makes fun of me all the time. So the food, it's, the food really differs from city to city, from region to region. If it's the Arabs cooking, if it's the Berbers cooking or the Jews cooking. So it's very diverse. You can say couscous, but every city makes it different.
Sure.
So, couscous definitely is one of the most popular because it's we make it on Friday. Friday is holiday for us, and we gather around the couscous for that experience and so forth. So each city makes it different. And one of the originals is you make couscous with the 7 vegetables, and I think some families still do it, but it's mainly Fez does it that way. Then Couscous in Casablanca is different, then the Rabat is different. So everybody really makes it different, because Morocco is it's a really diverse culture. Even between the Moroccans, we have so many different tribes. So
that's an interesting thing that you bring up. That's I want to ask you about that, but let's keep talking about food.
Then my favorite, it's a roasted chicken with olives and preserved lemon.
Oh, that sounds just so good.
I do remember there's a ton of olives in every dish, and I loved it.
That sounds so amazing.
Oh my goodness, that's definitely my favorite. Then we have some delicacy food, and that it's kind of, it may look weird to the West that we eat it, but it's for us it's really delicious, and we grew up eating it, so it does require a little bit of a taste.
Can you give us one example?
For example, for me, it's called here beef jerky. The way we make beef jerky back home, but it's a little different. We make it with fat, and we soak it in fat, and it stays in fat. And normally we eat it as breakfast, and you just take scoop out of it, with including the fat and the meat, and you just you do it with eggs, basically. You just crack a couple eggs, and the fat gets hot and it melts, and and then the beef, gets warm, and it gets it's really, really soft and tender because of the way that it's prepared. Yeah. And then for me, this one is kind of weird and strange, because when I eat it, I feel like I feel kind of get a headache, like I feel high. So it's I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but
no, you're okay.
Yeah, it makes me dizzy in a good way.
Yeah. Okay.
How many tagines do you have in your house?
Oh my God! Here's the funny thing: my wife does catering, and yeah. So if you need pictures, if you need videos, I mean, her dishes are just beyond incredible. So I think right now we have maybe 6 different tagines at home. So,
so you better explain what's a tagine and what does it look like?
Oh, sure. A tagine is a Moroccan kind of. It's a dish. It's made out of clay in a different way, and then you cannot just buy it and use it for cooking right away. There's some steps that you need to take before you can use it for cooking.
Okay.
And basically, you fill it with water for a couple of days and let the clay absorb the water, so that moist, and then you do olive oil, so it absorbs that moist as well. So the process takes about 3 days.
Yeah.
Then you can cook. I mean, use it for cooking after that. But also it cannot be directly touching the fire. So you have to put like an iron skillet, very thin iron skillet, just to absorb a little bit of that heat. And also when you use it for cooking, you medium heat to slow heat to low heat. That's the best way to use it. That way it does not break. And you can make it with a variety of meats: beef, chicken, lamb, goat. It's just fish or just vegetables. It's just incredible.
Tagine are just beautiful pieces of ceramics, I guess would be the word for it, but they're gorgeous.
Yeah. Looks like a cone with like you take off the top and there's a hole at the top. I brought one home and then quickly broke it.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness.
Just dropped it on the kitchen floor.
Shoot, man.
It's all right. Here's the thing. It looked beautiful on my stove, but I'd never used it because I didn't know how. I was too nervous. I was too intimidated. Like, what am I going to do? Make some couscous? I can barely make grilled cheese. I use an Instapot. If there was an Insta tagine, I might.
Here's the funny. My wife uses Instapot as well.
Oh,
and the way she does it, it's not really cheating, but it's just kind of fast forward the process of cooking it. Sometimes she leaves it for a long time, and then she finishes the process of cooking in the tagine. So
I love it. Okay. Maybe I could do that. Hey, real quick,
definitely you can.
As deal, I'm looking at your podcast called Destination Morocco, and you have some really fun-looking episodes. You have one called "What to Pack Before You Go to Morocco." You even have balloon rides over Morocco, Marrakech, and so I'm like, I'm going to check these out. So very cool, very cool.
Thank you.
Let's see. I wanted to you made a reference to Jewish cooking, and so when I was there in Morocco, I had on my tour we had like 4 or 5 Jewish people on our tour, and our tour guide knew that, and he made it a point to stop at various Jewish cemeteries and Jewish cultural sites. And I was shocked to see Hebrew all over Morocco, all over various graves, and it was preserved and it was protected. And that was a big thing of the Moroccan tourism board, of just how, hey, come to Morocco, and the safety and the welcomeness of all cultures and religions. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, like, wow, this is really cool, because I think, unfortunately, for many of our listeners, maybe they just don't really have a point of reference of Morocco. Yeah. They see, okay, Northern Africa and the first question is, well, is it safe? Yeah. So, do you want to can you talk on safety a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. But before talking about safety, I'll just go back to things that you have said earlier. Walking in Fez, you were describing to me the Jewish quarter, and the Jewish history is well preserved in Morocco. Morocco was Jewish, 100% at some point. So a lot of things that we have inherited from our Jewish ancestors. So including the food, the Moroccan food is about 85% Jewish. So yes, and Fez, you can see I don't know if you have seen the cemetery in Fez, but it's a must see. I went to it. It's one of the most beautiful sights that I've ever seen. It was beautiful, very
That's
nice.
Amazing.
It is a cemetery, so you feel it's a little bit sad, but still, comparing to a Muslim cemetery, there's absolutely no comparison.
Okay,
the Jewish cemetery looked incredible. I've seen graves from the 1800, the 1900, 1700. So the Jewish Fez, it was one of the biggest Jewish cities in Morocco. I mean, now you have Fez, you have Marrakech, you have Sahara. So there's Jewish history anywhere you go to Morocco. Whether you're going to the mountains, even my ancestors are Jews, in the mountains, in the Atlas Mountains, in Warza, in Ait Berhadou, in the north side, in the south side. So you will always find Jewish history in Morocco, anywhere you go. So in one of the villages that is close to us, there's still a synagogue that it was built back in the 8th century, and it still stands. It's not in good condition, but it's still there. So it just shows how integrated we are. And to the West, it's kind of weird because we have that relationship with the Jews or with Israel, because we are the same. So anyways,
that's
in
awesome.
terms of safety, it really depends, first of all, on you. And you have to watch out anywhere you go. Any place you travel that is overseas, safety is very important.
Absolutely.
And we did in Morocco, one of the episodes, I believe it's episode 4, about the scams and how to protect yourself and how to watch out for yourself and stuff like that. In Morocco, it is a very safe country. Probably the worst thing that can happen to you is you being scammed and taken advantage of.
Yeah, but those little monkeys are so cute in the square in Marrakech, They run up to you and they grab your wallet. No, they are cute though, aren't they? They're so well trained. Yeah, they're well trained. They're nice. I'll get my picture with it. I'll give it a few bucks. Come on.
I did the same thing because I was with my friend and I didn't want anybody to hustle me. And I said, I gave him $5.
Sure.
And he let me do my thing. And I made a video. It was nice, like 30 seconds, 45 seconds. I was happy and they were happy. So,
yeah.
Azin, you mentioned earlier, I mean, we've talked a little bit about the Jewish ancestry. We've talked about the Arabic ancestry a little bit, but how many different cultures make up the history of Morocco? Africa as a whole is usually kind of tribal, right? So does Morocco kind of have that same sort of ancestry?
Yes, we are very mixed. I'll give you an example. So when you go to Morocco and you talk to us or you see us walking, we're all Moroccans to you. Mm-hmm. So I felt the same way when I first came into the state. All Americans looked the same to me. I had no idea or the difference between a Southern accent, New York accent, Boston accent, California accent. In Morocco, we all have accents.
Wow.
Marrakech is very distinct accent. So yes, when you go to Casablanca, they speak different accent. Then Rabat is different accent. Then Fez, oh my God, they have a beautiful accent. Then the north side of Morocco have a different accent. Then the mountain reef have a different accent, then a different language. We're talking about the Berber language. It's Rifi. And then
this is good. We should talk about the Berbers. We should.
Oh my God. the Berbers. A lot of people go to Morocco, and that's one of the biggest things that they miss is the life of the Berbers, and especially the south of Morocco and the Atlas Mountains. So it's those tours we do as well, like it's 8 days. And again, back to your itinerary, if you do 10 days, that's going to be included. So in a 10-day itinerary, you'll see everything. So it's incredible. So it's really, really amazing.
Well, the Berbers it's a people group, correct?
Yes.
And they just live a little differently.
Yes. Okay.
It reminds me of the Amish in Ohio.
Are they nomadic?
Yes. Well, it's a really good question. The Berbers, they are the original inhabitants of Morocco. And it is believed that they have migrated from an area called the Sham, which is nowadays Israel, Syria, Jordan, and Lebanon. So that's where they migrated from. And they were settlers. They were just following the water. Wherever the water goes, that's where they go. So that's how my family settled in the mountains in our village. So, wow. And then centuries ago, one or so, my village consists of 4 families. So if you go to the village, they're like 100 and something, maybe a couple of 100 people, but we're all related. So it's just, it's crazy. I mean, cool. So it's kind of funny, but yeah. So it's the same thing when you go to, from Berber village to Berber village.
Right.
And the history is just incredible. It's unbelievable. Yeah. So, and they have different laws, different traditions, different cultures that applies to them versus the city. I'll give you an example. Let's say, because most of everywhere is mountains. So let's say a village is on top of a mountain. There's like a series of mountains next to it. Those mountains belong to that village.
Okay.
So all the resources belong to that village, especially wood and forest and stuff like that. So somebody from a different village cannot come to that village and do something, to those trees and stuff like that. They have to have a permission from the original village. So
gotcha.
They have different rules. Yeah.
Okay. So there are a few more segments that we wanted to talk about, but one that I was really curious from your perspective is, what are some words that you sort of think define Morocco, or some traits that define Morocco? When I think of Italy, I think wine, I think of pasta, I think of the Colosseum. What are some of those things for Morocco?
Do you want to give him time to think about it while we play our jingle?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's play our jingle.
Okay.
Here's 3 words to help you. Here's our defining words.
So Asdian, like I said, what are some of those defining words that you think kind of define Morocco?
I would definitely say minty is one of them.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
And the 2 that we have mentioned earlier, couscous and tagine.
Okay.
You just went straight for food.
I love it.
I told you.
Yeah, that's what I think of when I think of Morocco as food.
All right.
Well, food and a lot of beautiful landscapes.
What about Sahara Desert? Would you throw that in there?
I didn't say that on purpose.
On purpose? Why, you don't like it?
No, I love it, but it's
too much sand.
I apologize. No, the reason is because I see a lot of tour operators in the US. They just show camel in the desert. I was like, come on, there's more to Morocco
there's
than
a lot
camel.
more than that. Yeah,
So,
yeah, definitely. Okay, no, I definitely understand why you would say that.
Point.
Thank you.
Hey, Asdian, could you do this podcast in 3 different languages?
Oh my God. Well, Moroccan, the dialect, yes, I can do it.
Could you do this podcast in French?
Je sais pas. Probably not.
Probably not.
Because I understand it more than I can speak it.
How about just like, I remember when I was there, I wanted to learn some Arabic, and some Moroccans said to me, listen, if you're going to learn Arabic, don't get me wrong, we'd love it if you learned Moroccan Arabic, but you should probably learn it from like Egypt, because that's like the most. Do you agree with that, or do you disagree?
I totally agree. The reason, this is a really, really good point. You see, the Egypt language is understood in North Africa and in the Middle East. The Moroccan language, which is a dialect called Darija, it's only understood and some parts in North Africa, Morocco and Algeria, a little bit of Tunisia and Libya, but the Egyptians cannot understand us. Middle Easterns cannot understand us.
So if you meet a guy from Egypt, what are you going to speak with him?
We speak with them Egyptian because of the movies. I mean, we grew up with Egyptian movies.
Oh.
So that's the advantage we have. We understand them, they don't understand us. So we can talk about
if you meet a guy from Saudi Arabia, what are you going to speak?
The same thing. I mean, in Saudi Arabia, if we can speak the Arabic language, the formal language. So I'll give you just an idea. In Morocco, the languages that are spoken. In my case, I am Berber, so my mother tongue is Berber. So that's the first one. Then, as a local Moroccan, we speak the dialect of Darija. And then the first foreign language is actually Arabic. Then the second foreign language is French. Then the third foreign language is English. Then English is getting more popularity now than before. And if you go to the north side, they speak Spanish. They will not speak to you in French or anything else but in Spanish. So
when you moved to Texas, was your English pretty good already?
Well, not really, because I taught myself English. So okay. I learned English on my own, but I had a delay in my ear it's like 3 seconds, 4 seconds, because everybody spoke so fast.
Yeah.
That's how I heard it. I always have to go, like a stop.
Sure.
Okay, now I get it. So yeah, it took me about 6 months.
It's the same with me in Arabic.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding. I don't actually. Just those 6 words earlier. That's all I knew. But come on, really Sahara Desert. I get it. It's touristy. It's what the tour companies use to get people to book. But just give us the rundown. What are your thoughts?
I love the Sahara Desert. It's an amazing experience. It is beautiful. I'll give you an example. When I went, the last time I went, basically we leave our stuff at the hotel or the riad. Then we take the camel. You have a choice of taking the camel. It's about 45-minute ride with about 15-minute, 20-minute stop, so you can see the sun down and take pictures. Or you can go use the quads or use a 4x4. So I took the camel with my family, which is really, really nice. So you can see the changes in the color of the sand. It's not just yellow. It becomes orange. It becomes yellow. It becomes purple. Oh. It's pink. For me, it was just mind-blowing seeing it live. The pictures don't do justice.
I bet.
And then the sunset it was magical. It was beautiful. And also, when you get to the camp, they greet you with Moroccan mint tea, and they take you to your tent, which is incredible. So keep in mind, when you go to Merzouga, there's no fresh water. It's all salt water.
Oh,
so,
interesting.
Yeah, it's all salt water, yes. And, where I stayed, it was kind of luxury. So we had water, we had, a shower. Everything was, air conditioned, beautiful, very, very nice. And then they serve you dinner. The food is incredible. It's very good, very delicious. And then after dinner, they have a party. So with the locals, so they get their drums and they celebrate and everybody dances. So it's a really, really good and neat experience. Now this is the most that people miss the most, which is around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. You have to wake up and look at the sky. The sight is just oh my God! It just looks incredible. So a lot of people, they sleep in and they miss it. So luckily we did not. So, me and my wife, we got up and it was just unbelievable experience. Then we get served breakfast at 7 a.m. And then again, you have an option if you want to take the 4x4, if you want to take the quad or the camel. So we choose to take the 4x4. So the desert experience will change your life. And don't do just one night, do 2 nights. And one, spend it with the locals.
In my tent, I had a toilet that I could flush and a shower with hot water.
Yeah, you're very lucky. Because, it's really good. Because people think when they think of the desert or the Sahara, they think we don't have those things. There's some camps, they're just plain camps. They don't have those amenities, but in most of them they do. So the one we take, the clients, it's a friend of mine. It's called San Mao. And there's a story behind the name. It's a Chinese writer, very famous writer, and also the royal family stayed at his camp for about 6 months. So it's a high end, really really nice camp. So it's a must do, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready to go back.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
ready to go right now.
Let's take that Marrakech Express. If I didn't say it, I would get someone who said, "Why didn't you mention it?"
The Marrakech Express.
It's a song by Crosby, Stills and Nash. Who sings Marrakech Express?
I think so. Yes. Yeah. I
think I'm
yeah.
wrong. Hold on, Marrakech. Hold on, I'll find out.
Ozdian, what are some of the must-dos? Like, if you had 3 must-dos that everyone coming to Morocco for the first time had to experience, what would those 3 must-dos be?
Okay, I would definitely say Fes, either Fes or Marrakech. My first pick would be Fes.
Okay.
Second pick would be Marrakech. And if you do Fes, you gotta do the madrasa, you gotta do the university, you gotta do the what it's called, the tanneries. It's amazing. You gotta eat the food, because there's some food in Fes that they specialize in and they make it better than anybody else in Morocco. And one of their famous dishes is the bastilla, which is a really, really very traditional dish. It's normally served in weddings as a celebration, but there's a lot of restaurants that serve it. And you can make it with, with chicken. You can make it with dry fruits. You can make it with seafood. Seafood is now a little bit more popular. And some used to make it with pigeons. For us, the locals, that's how we used to eat with the pigeons. So then the couscous, for sure, the couscous and tagine. Those are really the staples. Then, Fes, there's many sites to see, not just one. When you go to Fes, you have to stop by the King's Palace. It's one of the world's wonders, in my opinion. It's a massive, massive palace. It's not occupied now. It's only used for meetings, for when the king invites other dignitaries and presidents from other countries, he can use it sometimes. Otherwise, it's just there's nobody there except the guards, and it's connected right. It's right at the Jewish quarter, actually. So the reason is because it has 7 doors, and the meaning of the 7 doors is, the 7 heavens. The gates to heaven are 7, and so forth. That's what we believe. And it was built by the late King Hassan II. And Hassan II, everything that he did was beyond. It was just beyond luxury. So from the smallest details, from the mosaic that it's used to the copper that it's used, the mixture of it, the way that there's certain product that it needs to be cleaned with, and the attention to detail and fit and finish is just unbelievable. And the best time to go and see it are 2, either sunset or sundown. Then there's a little bit of empty space next to it. So when the sun sets on it, it just changes everything. The colors change, I've seen the pictures many, many times, but when I went with my family, it was just, wow. It was mind blowing for me. So
when my group got to the hotel in Fez, I really wish I could remember the name. There's a pool right when you walk in the lobby, but
it's a Riyadh.
Every room was different.
Yes, those are Riyadhs. Fez has the best Riyadhs in Morocco.
I just really wish I knew the name. I'm looking at old pictures, but anyways, it was nighttime, and we were all a bit sleepy, and they greeted us. Like dates.
Yeah.
But
don't say dates.
The problem with
my God.
The problem with dates is there's a pit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, check this out. Each date they removed the pit and they replaced it with a cashew.
Yes.
Really?
And they gave us warm milk, and it was night, and we were cold. It was chilly. It was February.
Yeah.
And so we had a date, and we're like, "Oh, watch out for the pits." And the person was like, "No, go ahead and eat it. It's delicious and it's warm." And a warm milk. It was the most amazing. Talk about like a bedtime snack.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds so nice. Way to be greeted.
Yeah,
man.
It was awesome.
This is one of the in our culture and tradition. Normally, this is how the king would greet somebody coming to visit Morocco. So it's very meaningful and extremely hospitable. Places and people do that. So I'm speechless, but it's just beyond amazing that you got to experience that. So that's
I felt
incredible.
very honored.
That's amazing. Osdian, you obviously are doing tours and stuff like that. Can you give an idea in terms of like prices for an 8-day tour with you?
Okay. It really depends.
Yeah.
How many people are traveling and also things they're going to do and see. And I'll give you an example.
Tauk does a guided a 10-day tour for $8,000 per person.
Tauk,
that's too high.
That's Tauk.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to give you a starting point so you could not feel bad.
No, I'll feel guilty doing those tours. I'll feel like I'm a ninja. Normally, our prices are really not the highest and they're not really the lowest.
Okay.
And if when you want to compare price, you have to mention and compare value and also the experiences you get. And the way we do tours, hands down, better than anybody else. We charge, let's say if we charge $3,000 for a tour, somebody else charges $10,000, our tour is better.
Okay.
Number one, we're all Moroccans. Most of us are Berbers. We speak at least 5 languages.
Wow.
It's cool.
So, and what comes with it, I'll give you an example. Let's say you're doing your tour, 10-day tour. A driver, a current driver, and then the tour leader will pick you up from the hotel. And the tour leader is more like your 24-hour concierge / bodyguard / everything that he does everything for you. He'll take you, checks you into the Riyadh, checks you out from the Riyadh. You want to go shopping, he'll help you go shopping. You need a SIM card for your phone, he'll get it for you. You need anything, he'll get it for you. You need your clothes to be laundry, he'll take them to the laundry for you. He'll set it up. He basically, he does whatever. It's like an assistant, 24 hours.
It's a white glove experience.
Yes. And then when he takes you to the Riyadh, he goes over your itinerary with you on a daily basis. So today, this is what we're going to do. Tomorrow, this is what we're going to do, just to confirm that all the information is the same across board. So, and then, he does a little bit of sightseeing. The first day, it's not too heavy. Then the second day, it's going to start. So he comes back and picks you up after breakfast and starts the tour. So, and then let's say you're doing Casablanca, you go to the mosque, you're going to meet a local guide. So in every city, you get a local guide that'll explain the city for you. So in Fes, you'll have your own tour guide that specializes only in Fes. Then when you go to Casablanca, the same thing. When you go to Volubilis, the same thing. When you go to Tangier, the same thing. When you go to Chefchaouen, the same thing. When you go to Marrakech, the same thing. So those are all the local guides that you're going to meet in different cities. So, and basically the tour leader facilitates everything for you. Then the management, what they do is a day ahead or 2 days ahead, they confirm everything with the Riyadh or the hotel, that it's the right room, that the right people, and then the right name for the reservation and so forth, just to be on the safe side. That way there's nothing miscommunication and we prevent things from happening that way. So we check, double check and triple check everything. Then at the end, we get a report every night, incident report about that day, how it went, any challenges and things like that. So we keep those in consideration. And then during the tour, at some point, you'll meet with one of the managers and they get your feedback. Okay. How the experience went, things that we did good, things that we did bad, how we can improve the experience for the clients. And then we do gifts. We give you gifts. So those are local gifts just from us as saying thank you. Because we want to share our cultures with you. That's because we are very hospitable. And the Berber culture is very hospitable. If you have been to the mountains or to the desert, you can see that people are really, really genuinely hospitable. So they welcome everybody. They want you to come and see them, see their families, see their way of life and experience it with them. So that's one of the nicest things that we do. And also, your breakfast is included. Your dinner is included. And for 10 days, normally the dinner will be included in Riyadh or the hotel, but sometimes we don't because we want you to experience that local, the city specialty of food. If you go into Fes and stay for 2 nights, maybe one night you'll have dinner at the Riyadh and then the other night you'll have it outside the Riyadh. So we do the same thing for all the cities that you're going to stay. So your dinner and breakfast are included. And then we throw in a little bit of things here and there, a couple of lunches here and different experiences. Then on purpose, we leave one day, almost like half of it, just free for you to do whatever you want to do, just to relax, do massage, spa, and stuff like that. And then we don't tell you, but we plan something for you for that day as well. So a local, very different experience, and it doesn't cost you anything. This is from us as a thank you, and we plan it for you from A to Z. So whether you want to do trekking in the mountains, we can do it. You want to go to, a small place called Agafay, a little bit of outside the outskirts of Marrakech, and we give you a local Moroccan experience. And it can be many things. It can be the henna tattoo. It can be dance music. It can be, romantic lunch, romantic dinner, and stuff like that. So those are the things we don't really include in the itinerary, but we leave them as a surprise for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
A little above and beyond.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like
So, and I love the element of the surprise. I mean, I don't get to see it, but I hear about it. So when the manager calls me, it's like, we gave them this gift and they were speechless. They didn't know what to say, or, they just, wow. It's for me, it's the right thing to do. So, and that's why, when we do the tours, they're 100% focused on the client versus us just trying to make money. So, some people's like, hey, you did all this. How do you make money? And I said, well, we make it when you come to the podcast and talk about the experience and we get more bookings. That's how we, but it's not really about the money for us. The money comes later, but it's about you experiencing Morocco, our culture, our traditions. So, yeah.
That's amazing. Well, Azdian, we're running a little low on time, and so I want to ask you a few more questions. Where can listeners find your podcast? Are you on all major platforms?
Yes, I am on all the major platforms where they listen to their podcasts or where they listen to podcasts. I'm in the major. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
And could you, for one last time, could you say the name of your podcast and the name of your website?
The name of the podcast is Destination Morocco Podcast, and the website is destinationmoroccopodcast.com. Amazing.
And are you excited for the World Cup?
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God. It's one of my favorite events.
Oh. Yeah. Excited for the Atlas Lions?
Yes. We have a good team. Yes.
Yeah,
we do. Definitely. Yeah.
Do.
Yes.
I'm excited for you.
This
guys.
was so much fun. I'm so glad you could join us. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm beyond grateful.
Wow.
And extremely appreciative. And thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I mean it from my heart.
The pleasure is all ours, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Azdian, thank you so much. We appreciate you having coming on, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
We're the travel agents. That's the end of our show. Make sure to